Alright, so this is a really exciting addition to Case Journals version 2.801 being released in August of 2020. Notice I'm logged in as admin, and we've put a couple of new features in here available to the admin user. If I click on this drop-down menu, you'll see at the very bottom I've got this option to create or save SQL query statements. That's brand new. This only works if you're running Case Journals in an SQL setting. If you are not running SQL, this will not be useful for you, but it's a way to perform searches and queries on your data. And basically you can start by building an SQL SELECT statement. These are fairly complex. Obviously, if you don't know anything about SQL, it's going to be a whole new learning curve for you. But it's very useful in a lot of cases. So for example, if I want to find my client list, I can click on this, and maybe what I want to know is I want to know a list of first name, last name, and the city that this person lives in. Okay, so basically when I'm all done, I can click on this paste select statement, and the Case Journal software builds you the SQL statement for you. So that's right showing up in here. If you're familiar with SQL, you can modify that, and that may be useful to you. At the bottom, you can add some additional test variables. In this case, this is really simple. This is just a list of client names and the cities they're from. And I can click this Run Query. So I blocked this screen out because it actually contains real client names in here, so I don't want to show that on the internet. So I blocked these names out here. And basically at this point, when you have your list, you can sort the list by these columns, which is really kind of cool. You can also export the results to an XML sheet, to a CSV file, or to an Excel file. So you can do all that right now in the new version of Case Journals. You can go a little bit further, because if I go back to my select statement now, and let's say I want to modify this somewhat. I can put in here some SQL commands. This is a fairly complex thing if you're not used to it, but it's highly useful to anybody with any SQL experience, or also if you want some very specific stats. So and when I type in my SQL statement, I can run my query now. And this particular one, it's way over here on the right-hand side, but it reports 2. So it tells me how many people or how many clients I have from Dryden. So that's really useful, because now what you can do is you can take a query like that and you can save it with a specific code. And when I save that, now that becomes a standard query that I can call up at any time. Again, when you run it, you see I get my result over here on the right-hand side. Going back to this means at any time now I can recall that query to the screen and I can run that. A little bit more to do with that I'm not going to go into in this introductory video, but the last thing is now I can pull that into a formula. So I can create a formula. So in your standard statistics form, so you can recall SQL queries that you've actually saved in here and insert them into your formula, like so. And then it will report automatically in your standard formula stats report.